I never imagined that sweeping floors could feel like walking on a battlefield. The grand ceremonial hall was alive with the scent of dominance and power, even before the pack arrived. Every torch flickered like a warning, every shadow seemed to watch me. I was supposed to be invisible, a nameless servant forced into menial labor, scraping and polishing while the rest of the pack prepared for the annual mating ceremony. But no matter how hard I tried to blend into the walls, my secret refused to stay hidden. The wolf inside me, silver and untamed, stirred at every footstep, at every whisper of excitement echoing through the hall. I had spent months suppressing it, hiding my strength, my scent, my very presence, but fate has a cruel sense of timing. That's when he appeared. The Alpha King, golden eyes like molten sun, aura of power that made the air itself tremble. He stopped mid-step, nose twitching, nostrils flaring. My heart thudded against my ribs as I realized the truth I had been trying to deny. He could smell me. The wolf. My hidden scent. And in that instant, I knew life as I knew it was over. I was no longer invisible. I had been found. The hall smelled of burning torches and polished wood, yet beneath it lingered the raw, animalistic scent of the gathering, the scent of power, dominance, and desire. I clutched my broom tighter, trying not to tremble, as the echoes of laughter, growls, and hushed whispers ricocheted through the cavernous ceremonial hall. I wasn't supposed to be here. Not really. Not among the chosen, the feared, the Alpha bloodline. I had been forced into this humiliating task by the Council of Elders, cleaning the sacred mating hall before the annual ceremony. Every fiber of my being screamed to hide, to vanish, but the decrees of the pack were ironclad. One wrong move, one misstep, and I'd pay with more than just shame. The candles flickered, casting shadows that danced like specters across the walls. That's when I first noticed him. The Alpha King. His presence was magnetic, terrifying, a gravity I couldn't resist. He moved silently, his golden eyes sweeping the hall like a predator assessing territory. And then, it happened, he froze mid-step. A faint sniff of the air, a tilt of his head, and I knew. He had caught it, my hidden scent. It wasn't the scent of a servant or a timid girl. It was something deeper, wilder, primal. The scent of a wolf I had long buried, one I had fought to keep hidden, and now the Alpha King knew. Who's there? His voice was calm, deceptively soft, yet it carried the authority of a storm ready to break. My breath hitched. I had been careful. I had hidden in plain sight for months, unnoticed until now. I took a hesitant step forward, my hands trembling. The Alpha's gaze was locked on me, unblinking, feral. My secret, the wolf inside me, was no longer mine alone. And in that instant I realized my life was about to change forever. The Alpha King's golden eyes bore into me like molten fire, unyielding, judging, and searching. I could feel the raw power radiating from him, filling the hall, pressing me against the polished stone walls. My hidden scent, my secret wolf, had betrayed me, and yet I could see a flicker of curiosity in his gaze, sharp and dangerous. You think you can hide here? His voice was low, a growl that rolled through the hall like distant thunder. All this time cleaning the floors, pretending to be nothing. I swallowed, my throat dry trying to speak, but only a whisper escaped. I wasn't meant to. He stepped closer, and with each movement, the air between us thickened, electric and intoxicating. I could feel his claws of scent scraping at the edges of my concealment. He could smell every heartbeat, every unspoken desire, every fear I had buried inside. You have a wolf inside you, he said, almost to himself, yet it resonated in the deepest part of me. A silver wolf, rare, dangerous, untamed. My pulse raced. He was right. I had fought to suppress it, to hide it from the pack, from him, from myself. But now there was no hiding. Not from him. Not from the Alpha King. He circled me slowly, predator to prey, though his gaze hinted at more than threat. His nose twitched, inhaling my scent deliberately, as if tasting every secret I had buried under layers of fear and obedience. My knees threatened to buckle, yet some magnetic force rooted me to the spot. You smell like fire and moonlight, he murmured, closer now, his breath brushing against my ear. My wolf growled inside me, a warning, a challenge, and something in his eyes shifted, a spark of hunger, of possession, of something that went beyond desire. You've hidden in shadows too long, he said, his hand brushing my arm, light but commanding. It's time you learn what it means to be seen and claimed." I shivered, torn between fear and the undeniable pull that his presence demanded. In that moment, I realized that my punishment, cleaning the hall, had been the most dangerous thing I'd ever done. For now, I was no longer invisible. Now, I belonged whether I wanted to or not. The hall emptied slowly as the other pack members filed out, leaving only the echo of torches and the lingering scent of power and musk. I thought I might finally escape, but the Alpha King didn't move. Instead, he gestured toward a shadowed alcove, his golden eyes unreadable yet commanding. "Follow me," he said, his voice velvet and steel wrapped together. My heart pounded not just with fear, but with anticipation I couldn't name. The alcove was small or private, lit only by a single flickering torch. Here, away from the eyes of the pack, the air seemed heavier charged. He closed the distance between us in a few silent steps, and suddenly I was caught in a gravitational pull I couldn't resist. "You've been hiding," he said, his gaze piercing, almost intimate in its intensity. "Hiding your wolf, hiding your power, hiding yourself from the world. And yet it has drawn me to you." I swallowed, my voice barely audible. "I didn't mean to." He silenced me with a finger pressed lightly to my lips, though the weight behind it made me shiver. "No excuses. Tonight we see what you truly are." His hand trailed down my arm, brushing over my skin as if he could awaken the wolf buried deep inside me with just a touch. My body responded before my mind could catch up, my pulse quickened, my senses heightened, every instinct screaming in recognition of him. "You feel it too," he murmured, his forehead nearly touching mine. "The wolf in you is awake. It's calling to meal as much as I am to it." I wanted to pull back, to flee, but the moment held me captive. The air between us was thick with unspoken tension, fear, desire, and something darker, more magnetic. Slowly, deliberately, he circled me, nostrils flaring as he inhaled my scent. Every exhale, every shiver of mine fed his hunger, and his presence fed mine. "You will learn," he said softly, almost cruelly, "that hiding your scent only makes it sweeter when finally it belongs to me." My wolf stirred, low and growling, as if answering him before I could. The sound vibrated through my chest, raw, feral, and liberating. The Alpha King's eyes glinted with satisfaction, and something else, something dangerous, something I couldn't name. And I knew, with a certainty that terrified and thrilled me, that my life was no longer mine to control. The days that followed were a blur of anticipation, fear, and exhilaration. The Alpha King had claimed my scent, and with it, my life had shifted into a world I had only ever observed from the shadows. He didn't speak much, yet every movement, every glance, every command carried weight, an unspoken authority that I could not ignore. One evening, he led me into the moonlit clearing behind the ceremonial hall. The silver light danced across the grass, illuminating his sharp silhouette, and for the first time, I truly saw him, not just as the terrifying Alpha King, but as a predator and master of his domain. "Tonight, you learn to listen to your wolf," he said, his voice low, vibrating in my chest. "To feel it, control it, and unleash it when I command." I swallowed hard, my pulse quickening as he circled me slowly, nostrils flaring as he inhaled my scent. My wolf stirred, a silver flame I had fought to hide, awakening at the mere presence of his dominance. My body responded instinctively, heart racing, muscles tensing, senses sharpening beyond anything human. "You're frightened," he observed, his golden eyes glinting with amusement. "Good. Fear keeps you sharp. But you'll learn to trust it, trust me." He knelt, eyes level with mine, and gestured for me to approach. Every step toward him felt like a step into fire, dangerous, consuming, intoxicating. "Your wolf is strong," he murmured, brushing a stray strand of hair from my face, his fingers lingering longer than necessary. "But strength without control is chaos, and chaos can destroy you." Then, with a speed that stole my breath, he tapped into my wolf scent, testing, teasing, challenging me. My instinct screamed to respond, to yield, yet the fear of failing him, and the thrill of his dominance, kept me on edge. "You're mine now," he said finally, voice low and possessive, a growl threading through his words. "Every scent, every heartbeat, every secret you hide belongs to me." I shivered, torn between resistance and surrender, my wolf growling inside me, urging release, recognition, and connection. In that moment, I realized that this training was more than mastering my wolf. It was mastering myself under the most intense, irresistible pull I had ever known. And as the moonlight bathed us, I understood one undeniable truth: the Alpha King did not just see me. He had awakened something inside me that could never be hidden again.